News in the world of Valheim today. We have a sneak peek from Valheim of some things that are going to make their debut in the Mistlands update, as well as a few other little tidbits here and there that have been cropping up over the past week. First, of course, we get to this main one that came out today with this teaser pic. Got some exciting little details here. Let's look at it a little bit closer. So if I bring it over here and brighten it up, one of the first things that pops out to me is, what is this guy holding in his hand? That is not something that we currently have in the game. I don't know if this is supposed to be some kind of an axe or a different kind of weapon. Definitely looks like it'll probably have some kind of a slice damage. Seems like sharp edges on both sides. We'll be curious what this metal is that it's made of too. The player here is wearing padded armor, and the shield here in the background, that is the black metal shield that you can see on my player here. It's the same shape as what we have going in our picture. The next thing that popped out to me was these lanterns here on the front of the ruin. Of course, we're all dreaming that we're going to get these as build pieces. Grimcore did a little tease of these a long while back, like last April, where it seemed like him and Lisa were just teasing each other. And we didn't really know if this was actually something that was going to be coming to the game, but that's definitely the same style. Looks like it's hanging down on a chain. And this is a really bright white light. That could be good to get some brightness where you want. I wonder if this is what Grimcore was referring to when he said a couple days ago, we made a fun item with resin for Mistlands. I think some very special Vikings will like it. Could be these lanterns he's talking about. Over here on the right, of course, we have this little lighthouse looking thing. I don't know what else to call it. It looks like a little lighthouse. Several interesting things here. Some of it's made up of the blocks that we've seen before. The big flat square block. These really sharp angled triangle pieces. This is the exciting stuff up top. These skinnier pieces, is that going to be the same as the 1x1 build piece that we have already? Or does it look skinnier to you? I'm thinking it might be the same size. How awesome would it be to have a really thin, tiny piece though? Am I right? So many times we want something very skinny, like to build into crystal windows. That would be amazing. And then of course we have these pyramid shapes. One of the things that we struggle with on our towers is getting a really pointy roof. And there you go. That's a pointy roof. And it looks like it's flipped upside down here on the bottom as well. So are these two different pyramid shapes? This looks like it's made up of 4 different triangles on each corner that come together to make the pointy pyramid on top. So my question is, are these separate pieces? One set that points up and one set that points down? Or are we going to be able to rotate our pieces along that axis that we've never been able to rotate before? Would be great if we're getting more build pieces of each type pointing up and down. Would be amazeballs if we're able to rotate them up and down. Then of course we have this beautiful blue glow with these little speckledy firefly looking things on the outside. This looks similar to the glow that we get from the Grey Dwarf Eye torches, the blue torches, but it's definitely on a bigger scale. And we don't have fireflies. If you really zoom in, this little bit right here in the middle seems to be where the light's emanating from. Can't see enough to really know what that is though, obviously. But I like it. I like the feel, I like the glow. Anything with lighting is amazing. If it's not Grey Dwarf Eyes fueling this tower glowy thing, maybe it has something to do with these new mushrooms over here. This is the concept art that we started with originally, where we're getting a couple new shrooms. And this is what it's going to look like in game now. Notice it has the little flickery things on the outside of it too, just like the little lighthouse does. Maybe that's what fuels them. Maybe that's why they're shown together. I don't know. What do you think? Of course, we have seen the build pieces from this ruin before, and a few others shown along with it. Notice again, we see these vines on this ruin, and also in this picture that we got from Jonathan this past week, there's another ruin down here at the bottom that is just covered in vines. This ruin looks much more ruined, I have to say. The top is totally falling apart. But when we got confirmation that we are actually going to be able to build these pieces with black marble, none of those pictures ever had vines on them. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a prediction that we are not getting vines. I don't see it happening right now. Sorry guys. It has come to pass that Valheim is now out on PC Game Pass and is supporting crossplay. This crossplay is not the same as when it's going to be coming out officially on Xbox early next year, but they're getting things ready for its release in early 2023, and a lot of the public test branch has been working on this lately as well. One of the cool things that they've added is that you can now have favorite dedicated servers, which is going to make logging into them between different ones easier and faster. However, they did have quite a few challenges with it affecting dedicated servers when the first version of this went live, and they're working on fixing all of the issues that came up at that time. Today, again, they have another public test out, working on back-end stuff for multiplayer and dedicated servers. So they're really trying to get this ironed out before it hits Xbox. In the world of the beautiful music soundtrack for Valheim, Patrick Jarlstam is at it again, giving us some little sneak peeks of what it's going to sound like in the Mistlands. And I was so honored to be asked by Patrick to help him come up with video playing in Valheim to go along with the Valheim music being played by a symphony at a concert there in Sweden this past week. I was so glad to have my buddies from Ravenheim, Kaisen, and Verso help me with getting video for sailing in the ocean music, as well as my buddies on my Happy Gamers community server and taking down the bosses. I'll get a video out this coming week to show some of our adventures. Make sure to subscribe for all things Valheim. Until next time, happy gaming!